What's up, everyone? I promised to be more consistent on my YouTube channel, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to make one video every week on philosophy, or just kind of have us question our world, and I would love to guide a discussion through that. And here's what I have for you for this week. I was rereading the Canterbury Tales the other night, and I came across the Squires Tale. And if you remember the Squires Tale, or maybe you haven't encountered this work yet, um, he tells the story of this kingdom where this knight comes in on a brass horse, and he comes from a neighboring kingdom, and he brings gifts. And the gifts that he has are this brass horse, and this horse has the ability to take you wherever you want to go. In fact, he whispers to the king that he's going to give him the specific instructions for how to work the brass horse in private. So Chaucer doesn't tell those instructions, but apparently it's something within the ear you turn, and the horse can take you wherever you want to go. It can also leave and come back. He also gives a ring that has the ability to um, translate any language from any living being, and and a mirror that helps tell the truth, whether you can discern whether or not someone's being honest or not with you. So when I was reading this the other night, it hit me on a different level altogether. Like, I just wanted to entertain some ideas of what if the whole ancient alien or more advanced civilizations theory was had more legitimacy than what mainstream science thinks. And if it did, now, of course, this could just be some literary idea. But remember, in yield theory, we practice non attachment, which means we're not attached to our beliefs. And so we're willing to explore lots of different things. So instead of running with all or nothing, yes, it's this, or yes, no, it's not, just consider this with me for a moment. So, yes, this could have just been an imagination thing. But if you think about that brass horse that had the ability to go away and come back when called, whenever you want, uh, it kind of brought up to mind today's self-driving cars that have the technology to come back to you when you call them. The ring that could interpret any living being kind of calls to mind these new interpretation apps that people have. So you can use these new apps, and it can right on the spot help you speak to people in different languages and immediately translate what they're saying and what you're saying. And then that mirror that can tell if someone's being honest also calls to mind some of the facial recognition technology that is already in existence. So all of this technology actually exists today, but this was written in the late 1300s. And so, yes, is it absolutely a possibility that this was just a thought in the imagination of someone? Absolutely, it could be. But what if it wasn't? What if it was information that had been passed down? And then we throw in the fun kind of conspiracy theories about it, which were that Chaucer took a long time to write the Canterbury Tales. And for some reason, the Squires Tale, there were others that weren't fully told. So again, we can always throw that in. But it wasn't fully told. And it was said that when he died, he wasn't really finished writing it. So was he wondering if he should have added more information? Was he going to maybe be a little bit more specific with what the instructions were? Or maybe he had no idea about them. I don't know. But here's what I love about this. When you get stuck believing that how you see the world is the definitive way of the world, you can get really locked in your ego. And our egos like to convince us that whatever we believe, anything we believe, is absolute certainty. If we believe it, it must be true. If someone says it and it's not something we believe, it can't be true. That's why Joseph Campbell once said that religion is defined as other people's mythology. If they believe it, it's true. If they don't believe it, it's got to be mythology. Anyway, let's come back to this concept. How powerful is it to consider that we could have had really advanced civilizations here on Earth? That's a possibility. I've always been fascinated with why archaeologists get so defensive when alternative ideas come up. Um, I understand not agreeing with them, and I understand showing evidence that those ideas are silly. But when you don't have that evidence, I'm blown away at the certainty that it couldn't possibly be a different idea simply because it's not one that you've been taught to say this is how things are. And of course, the more information that we get about the ancient world and how there are some sites that are significantly older than what we would have previously thought, it helps us keep challenging our world. So in this video, maybe this is just a philosophical thought, something for you to think about this week, but my hope always is to help push personal growth. Maybe you resonate with this idea and you want to vibe with it, explore it more, go back and read the Canterbury Tales. Or maybe you want to say that's a bunch of hoopla and challenge it, and that helps push you to challenge it to demonstrate otherwise. Great. Whatever it is, I hope it helps. Be open. Be open to ideas. Push yourself beyond what your ego tells you is certain. Remember the Robert Burton in one of the great books called On Being Certain. He showed as a neuroscientist studying the brain for over 30 years that when people are certain, when they proclaim certainty, the part of the brain that is activated during that time more closely mirrors an emotional response than it does a higher level cognitive response, which means that concept of certainty is more closely aligned with an emotional reaction than it is with a logical or rational response. It's really cool to think about. I hope this helps, and I hope this pushes you to grow. Until next time, as always, I wish you much peace.